Perfect. All right, you guys. So let's take a little bit of time and come into our breath. So just take a minute, get yourself nice and comfortable. Please make sure that if crossing your legs is difficult, you're more than welcome to stretch the legs. Just put a little padding underneath the knee so it doesn't hyperextend. Let your hands come to rest, palms facing up. And, all right, here we go. So we had a question this week about the type of breath that I've been practicing called Tummo breath. It was a type of breath that was developed by Tibetan monks a couple thousand of years ago. And what it does is you can actually, I haven't been able to find all the research yet, but what I think it does is it affects your hypothalamus gland because it allows you to regulate your temperature and also adjust your heart rate. So it makes it pretty powerful. It's a really strong breath. I don't know that I'm quite ready to teach it yet. However, the beginnings of it that you can start playing with is that at the end of your exhale, what you do is you exhale about 75%, and then you hold your breath for as long as is comfortable. And then you take another deep inhale and you do it again. So if anybody wants to play with that, you're more than welcome to. It's just another form of pranayama, another form of breath work. There's a lot of discussion right now in terms of research as to actually what happens when you hold your breath. There are people that have like blown past all the records in terms of how long we thought we could hold our breath for. There are people that can now actually hold their breath for like well over 5 minutes and they're fine. Yeah, it's crazy, no problem. And one of the things that happens is that when your body gets a little bit more carbon dioxide in it, there's a chemical shift, if I remember correctly, within the body that actually releases more oxygen for your body to use. It's kind of interesting. So I'm still kind of digging into it and doing the research, but I find the whole piece fascinating. So if anybody wants to play with, as you exhale, exhaling out 75% and then holding your breath for as long as is comfortable, you are welcome to do so. And Tummo is spelled T-U-M-M-O. All right, there we go. So let your hands come to rest, palms facing up. Let your eyes gently close. And just take a few cycles of breath so that you can scan your body. So you're not trying to change your breath at all. This is just an opportunity to find out how your body's doing today and what's going on within it. You might discover that you may have made a movement several times and it was a little too much and your body's now grumpy. For example, I've been practicing a lot of shoulder retraction and my left shoulder now is like, that was too much. Okay, so just without changing breath, take a moment to scan. Start at the top of the head. Notice how your scalp is feeling. As you continue to breathe, allow your awareness to come across your forehead. Notice if you're holding tension there. Then allow your awareness to gently come down your face, across your cheeks, through your jaw. Notice if you're holding any tension through the jaw. And then take a moment and notice how it feels coming from your occipital bone, that little notch in the back of your head on either side of your spine. Does it feel tense there? Notice if the tension is not maybe directly along the back, but it might be along the sides. Take a moment to see if you can differentiate where any stress or tension may be. And then also take a moment to notice if the front of your neck is feeling tight. Maybe that you've been spending a lot of time with your head slightly more forward than normal, which will shorten the front of the neck and put extra stress on the back of the neck. And then as you continue, you can begin to come into your diaphragmatic breath. Slow, deep inhale coming from the belly. Long, steady exhale as you draw the belly back in and gently engage those lower abdominal muscles, really squeezing in through the lungs. And as you move into your deep diaphragmatic breath, then just take a moment and notice how the tops of the shoulders are feeling. So coming down from the neck, going along the tops of the shoulders. Notice if you have uneven sensation between the left side and the right side, or if does it feel even. And then allow the awareness to come down in through the rib cage, through the center of the body. And just notice how the shoulder blades feel. How does the rib cage feel? Take a moment to observe how the lumbar spine feels as it moves down towards the pelvis and centers through the sit bones as you sit. Take a moment to connect into the low belly once again as you draw in through the exhale. Coming back into the full inhale. And of course, at any time, if you were curious and you want to play with your exhale, please feel free to begin. One way that you can stair step your exhale is that you can take a small exhale, stop your breath, and then exhale a little bit more, stop your breath, which would be about 50%. And then exhale, stop your breath one more time, that would be 75. And then gently hold as long as is comfortable. And then when you release, take a full deep inhale again. And then again, coming back to the body to continue the scan. Take a moment to notice if you feel balanced between the left and the right, sides of the glutes. How does that feel between the left hip and the right hip? How does that feel through the legs? And then all the way down to the feet. And then placing all of those bits and pieces of your body together, take a moment to notice how you feel, all of you. Breathe in, feel the body begin to open, breathe out any stress you may be feeling. Notice that with each breath, the shoulders begin to relax. With each breath, your jaw begins to soften. Following your cycle of breath for what you need for your practice today. Begin to find that deep, quiet spot of stillness. Following the deep inhale diaphragmatically and exhale, gentle squeeze through the core. And then when you're ready, allow the flats of your palms to come rest over your heart. We'll sing the sound of ah, then the sound of oh, then the sound of As you sing, really connect into the vibration as it resonates through the lungs into the heart, into the other body parts. Really connect into the pause And on your fourth breath, please set your intent for your practice today. Something that you most need, something that you most desire, and make it an I am statement. So when you're ready, slow, steady inhale. And when you're ready, gently release the hands. Let them come to palms facing down. Breathe here, eyes still closed, and then allow your hands to come down by your side. Let's go ahead and play with 3 full cycles of breath of joy. So as you inhale, lengthen all the way out through the fingertips. Gently feel those shoulder blades retract. And then once your arms are up overhead, feel length come through the top of the shoulders as well as anchor through the bottom. Next, exhale, allow the palms to touch and gently draw them down the center. Let the thumbs rest at the sternum at the heart point. Take another full cycle, deep inhale, deep exhale. And then again, deep inhale. And exhale. And then one more time, deep inhale. And exhale. Gently release the hands. Open the eyes. Thanks, you guys. Okay, so we're going to do 2 sets of neck since we had some grumpy necks. The first one is we're going to do the way that we've been doing it. So you'll begin by taking that left ear towards your left shoulder, just gently finding that opening on that side. And then I want you to take that left hand, gently wrap it over the top. And when you're ready, just use about 30% of your body weight. Just gently press your head into the hand without having anything move. It's just that very gentle resistance. And breathe slowly, fully. Really enjoy the entire sequence of the breath. And then when you're ready, gently bring the head up and release the hand. Take a moment now to pause and then gently roll that right ear towards that right shoulder. Notice where you are today and then go ahead and take that right hand up and over. Fingertips are pointing toward the top of the ear. And just allow the weight of the hand first to just softly open. And then making this into a little bit more of an isometric stretch, just gently resist and breathe. Just kind of notice where you are. And then when you're ready, gently bring the head up and release the hand. Okay, good. Very nice. All right, you guys. So we're going to do our little twist, but we're going to do it with blocks today. So all we're doing is we're just asking the shoulders to be a little bit more aware of what they're doing. So before we do anything, what I want you to do is I want you to feel your pectoral muscles begin to work a little bit. So what I want you to do is squeeze those pectoral muscles, which is going to draw your arm forward, but it's also going to draw the shoulder blade forward. So rather than pushing from the back, you're pulling from the front. And then gently allow that release. Keeping your hands to the front, just take those inner edges of the shoulder blades and just for a moment gently squeeze. Finding that full front to back rotation and then gently allowing it to relax and come into the shoulders a little bit. Okay, here we go. We have our blocks. So if possible, I want you to hold them as if you were holding a serving tray, okay? And just notice how it feels, to extend through the arms. And how much, even though this doesn't weigh a lot, how much extra, arm engagement you suddenly have, right? So since our arms are in front of us and we're flexing, right? You've got two things that you're doing. You're protracting your shoulder blades together. Risa, I adore your blocks. And then you're also using your lower muscles, your serratus anterior muscles, to help engage. So here we go. From here, I want you to go ahead and I want you to take this left arm and you're going to swing it all the way back and then just very gently lengthen through the right arm. So you're protracting and flexing through the right arm and you are retracting and extending through the left. And then gently swing that left arm all the way back forward. And rotate following that right arm back. Find that retraction and extension through the right arm. And flexion and protraction through the left. Breathe. And then inhale, bring it all the way back. Okay, now we're going to do a little abduction. So with your palms flat, what I want you to do is wrap your pinky around one side and your thumb around the other. Extend out. Abduction. Breathe. Okay, so here we go. From where you are, you're going to use a little bit of your deltoid muscle, and now we're going to lift through the trapezius and work to touch the blocks. And then exhale, bring it back. And see if you can bring them down and behind. And then one more time. Inhale. And exhale. We have flying blocks. And then gently allow them to release. Okay. Take a moment now. I want you to notice the difference in your shoulders because you used a little bit. You guys, the blocks aren't heavy, but can you feel the difference now that you're not extending with the blocks? It's like, everything feels really yummy, much better. Okay, so from here, we're going to come back into our second set. So again, starting with the left ear, just go ahead and allow that left ear to go to the left shoulder. And again, your left hand is going to come over. So begin by just allowing the weight to just create a little bit of traction, a little bit of stretch. Now this time you're going to begin with an isometric contraction, meaning that you're going to just gently press your head into your hand. So find that first. And then what I invite you to do is put just a little bit more force, a little bit more contraction into this right side and use it to draw your head all the way up, still continuing the contraction until you get upright. Then allow that left arm to relax. Can you feel the difference when you put just that extra little bit of force in there and draw yourself up? Okay, and just kind of check in and see how that feels on that side. Now we're going to move over to the right ear towards the right shoulder. Again, you're going to take your right hand, bring it up and over, and again, just begin by allowing the weight to create the opening first. And then when you're ready, gently press your head into the hand, no movement. So let's find that isometric stretch first. Once you have the isometric stretch, add on this left side just a little bit more force, right? And then draw your head upright. There you go, good. And then gently release. And just take a moment and just check in with the neck and see how that feels. Okay, so I want to clarify something really quickly so that people don't think that I'm telling you to like bear down and get really, like 100%. When a muscle contracts, it creates force. So when I say you're going to add just a little bit more force, what I'm saying is you're going to add just a little bit more contraction. Yeah. Okay. It's like, that does not mean go crazy and do 110%. And then I check in on you tomorrow and find out that you can't move your neck. Okay. No. When I say that, I'm just saying contract your muscle just a little bit more. Okay. So just wanted to clarify, please don't damage your body because I was inaccurate with my language. Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, let's do something completely different. Let's start on our feet. Okay? Let's just do it. Let's go for it. Okay. All right, you guys, so here we go. Grab your chairs. I think for this part, I'm gonna have to do this over here. I get after a little bit of afternoon sunlight, so I'm trying to avoid the sunlight so that y'all can see. All right, are we good? Make sure that you've got your blocks handy. Okay, and let's start first by finding our feet in Tadasana. And of course, I have light right where my feet are, so we're gonna just imagine. I'm gonna step back just a little bit. Okay, so please remember, you guys, in here, anything from hip distance apart to toes and feet together is fine with me. What I am looking for is for you to feel completely balanced through the center of your foot. So that also means that since bones grow in spirals, it means that your toes need to be just a little bit out for the knees to be straight. That's fine. What I'm looking for is you to be comfortable within the variations that your body has grown, okay? So once you're here, I want you just to take a moment and squeeze gently. Just kind of find it and go, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, good. Let that relax. And now I want you to walk your feet out. Okay, about 3 to 5 feet. Everybody got that? All right. Now, if forward folds are not your forte, right, they're not your favorite thing, then I want you to turn so that you're facing your chair, because this way you've got your prop right there, okay? If you like forward folds, then you can continue facing the way you're facing, okay? So just make sure that you've got your setup so that you're only going down as far as you want. So hands to hips, and then I want you to bend softly into your knees, okay? If y'all were horseback riders, I would say it would feel like you were riding your horse, okay? You're gonna take a full inhale. And as you exhale, drawing in, I want you to begin to hinge to the hips and only come down halfway. And just kind of find and notice, how does this feel for you today? Are you having any sensation in the low back? If you are, then it may mean that you need to come up a little bit, okay? And just kind of notice. Notice too, where is the balance in your feet? Are you grounded deeply into the heels? Are you grounded deeply into the ball of the foot? Or are you in the center? If you're grounded deeply in your heels, what does it feel like to let your body weight come forward and ground into the ball of the foot? If you're grounded into the ball of the foot, what does it feel like to let your body weight sink back and ground into the heels? So these are all just things I want you to observe and notice. As you get ready to come up, I want you to squeeze through those glutes and then gently lengthen up or extend. Beautiful. Awesome, you guys. All right, we're going to do this again. If after doing that as a test run, going all the way down may not feel tops, please take at least one of your blocks and have it handy. Okay, so here we go. So again, find your feet wide. Put a gentle bend in through the knees. Take that full inhale, and then on the exhale, draw strongly through the core. Please remember, you are welcome to come down one vertebrae at a time, or you can hinge with a flat back. And just notice where it feels good to come down. When you've gone as far as feels comfortable, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your block, place your hands on it, and take a moment to let go of your neck and head, letting them hang. And I want you to do a gentle yes with your head and neck. And I want you to do a gentle no with your head and neck. And you guys, here's another thing. If your hips are grumpy with being 3 to 4 feet distant, please bring them in closer together. I really want this to be comfortable for you guys. So here you go. We've got 2 options now. Option 1, you're going to hang out here, hands are on the block, and you're going to begin to extend through the torso, so lengthening through the torso. Option 2, if it feels really good, you're going to take your first 2 fingers on each hand. These are your peace fingers. Put them in between your big toe and your second toe. Wrap your thumbs round, or your fingers round, and then let your thumbs overlap. So what I want you to do here is very gently begin to exhale, bend into those elbows, draw up and in through your core. So all we're doing is we're just increasing the flexion a little bit. The flexion of drawing the hips, or excuse me, drawing the torso towards the legs. Okay, that's it. And then gently, slowly release that. If you're at your block, take a deep inhale, find length through the torso. And then exhale, fold again. From here, we're going to do a little bit of play. What you're going to do is, if you're on your block, you're going to keep your hands on the block and you're going to start moving your block over to the left. Otherwise, if your fingertips are down, I want you to take this left foot, come onto the ball of the foot, and pivot so that the toes are now pointing towards your chair or pointing towards the left end of the mat. You're going to walk your fingers around. And now I want you to take this right leg, come up onto the ball of the foot, pivot the ball of that foot, step it out to the right. Oh, and if you're right here and that's way too much and we were sneaky about it, come up onto the seat of the chair, or you can use your blocks, one on either side. I was very sneaky when I did that, so I apologize if your bodies went, yeah, we don't like it. If your bodies did, go team. Notice that my left leg is still got some bend in it, right? That's because I don't want to try to overstretch the hamstring. Now that I'm here and I'm in a position that feels reasonably comfortable, and what I'm also noticing is that there is a sensation of good feeling, right, of warmth and welcoming in my low back. What you can play with from this bend in the left leg is just very gently begin to straighten that left leg. And you're going to go very slowly. What you're looking for is a sensation of lengthening through the center of your hamstring muscles. And you guys, you've got 3. Okay, so you're probably going to feel this along the most inner one and then the middle. And just breathe. If you're feeling the sensation back behind or on either side of the knee, you're going too far. If you're feeling this on your sits bone, you're going too far. This should just simply be in the middle of the muscle. And if you want to really play, you can squeeze into that left glute. And just notice that as you squeeze into the left glute, what does it do for your pelvis? It may help you straighten the pelvis. And then gently, slowly release. I want you now to shift your body weight onto that left foot. Get very light with your right and take as many steps forward as you need to in order to get the right foot next to the left foot. Hands can come to the seat of the chair from the blocks. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves completely up. So I want you to squeeze deeply through the glutes and either come up with a flat back or round yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. Oh, find that nice extension. Woo! Beautiful. How does that feel, you guys? If your back say, oh, that was yummy, and now I want to extend a little bit, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to bring your hands to the low back, squeeze in through the glutes a little bit, press the hips forward a little bit, and just find that extension. Good. And then gently release that. Now, what we did is a lot of forward folding. What I want us to do next is do a little bit of extension through the leg. So turn your chair around so that you have the back of the chair now facing you. I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to move my blocks. Okay, pulling the back of the chair in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to practice with our glutes and our low back. So this time what's going to happen is that we're going to start with this right leg. So shift your body weight over to the left foot. Get that right leg so that the toes are just kind of touching at the edge. Squeeze through the glutes, and I want you to lengthen into that right leg and squeeze the glutes. Make them work. If you can balance here without hands on the back, that's great. Hands can come to the hips so that you can practice the balance. Keep the leg extended. Keep firing through the glutes. Your hamstrings are going to fire too. Breathe. See if you can keep your torso upright. Lift that hip or lengthen through, extend through that right leg just a little bit more. If you are extending and you need to hold on with your fingertips, please do. And then let that relax. Whew. Do a little hip shake. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time, I want you to ground into that right foot. Get those left toes so that they're touching just behind. And I want this to come from your glute. So rather than trying to lift your leg through your hamstrings, I want you to squeeze strongly through the glute first. On this left side, get really strong. Squeeze through the glute and then pull from the glute to lift the leg back. And again, we're not trying to do super big movement. If you want to practice your balance, hands can come to the hips. That's great. Breathe. If your trunk wants to flex forward just a little bit, that's okay. But keep squeezing through the glute. Keep extending through that leg. Hands can come to the back of the chair if you decide you want to find just a little bit more extension through that left leg. Squeeze the glute. and then gently allow it to release. Woo. Little side to side. Okay. All right. So from here, I want you to step that left foot back, pivot, so that again, you are now facing forward. Have your blocks handy. Okay. Gentle bend in the knees if you think you need to. Slow inhale, deep exhale, really engage through the core, hinge through the hip, lengthen yourself forward. Again, if you need your block, take as many blocks as you need, hang out here. Let your body just soften into this. If you're working with your block, you can work towards bringing your head so that it rests on the top of the block. This is a really yummy lengthening for the entire back. If you want to do a little bit more and it's not too much on your body, you're going to again take your first two fingers, put them in between the big toe and the second toe, wrap the fingers around, let the thumbs overlap. Take a slow inhale, and as you do that, I want you to find length through the spine, so you're straightening and lengthening through the back. And then as you exhale, gently bend into the elbows, so you're not really rounding through the spine in between your shoulder blades. If anything, I want you to feel those inner edges of the shoulder blades gently begin to retract a little bit. Just creating a little extra stability for the shoulder blade. Let go of the head and neck and let them dangle here. And you can allow them to move around again as you choose. One more full cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, let it go. All right. If you are at your block, you're going to bring your head up just a little bit. You're going to let the block this time move a little bit over to the right. You can keep that right hand on it for stability if you need to. You're going to take that right foot, come up onto the ball of the foot, and you're going to spin and pivot that foot so that the toes are facing the short side of your mat. You're then going to bring your hands, if you need your blocks, take your blocks with you to either side. And from here, I want you to lift the heel of that left foot, pivot that left foot so the toes are now facing more forward. And then what I want you to do is shift your body weight into that right foot, step that left foot out a little bit more to the left. You've got a big bend going in that right leg. Okay. And you're just going to bring yourself so that now you're facing your chair again. And you still have a nice bend in that right leg. Hands can come to the blocks if they choose. You're doing this so that this is really comfortable. You've got lots of space through your back. Shoulders are relaxed. There's no stress in the neck or the shoulders. And from here, as long as your body says yes, ladies, that looks beautiful. Everybody looks fabulous. What you're going to do is very, very slowly begin to start straightening into that right knee. And as you do that, you're beginning to lengthen a little bit more into the right hamstring. And again, you're looking for a connection in the middle of the leg, in the middle of the muscles, not down by the knee and not back up by the sits bones. If you want to play a little bit more and notice how this changes movement, try squeezing into the right glute, just a little bit. And just notice how that may or may not shift your pelvis. And just breathe here. Be very present to all the sensations that are going on in your body. And then when you're ready, I want you to put the bend back into that right knee. And if you need to, place hands on the chair and lightly step that left foot up, taking as many steps as you need. Pause here, and when you're ready, squeeze strongly through the glutes. Gentle activation through the front, and either come up one vertebrae at a time or with a flat back, whichever feels best for your body. Oh, yummy. Notice this time how the low back feels. And again, if your body goes, oh, I really want that little bit of compression, take your hands to the low back, squeeze gently through the glutes, press those hips forward if that's what feels best for you. Breathe. And then release. Okay, one more time. You've got your hands right here as you need them. Shift your body weight this time first into the right leg, okay? Because the leg is extended, you're gonna have a little bit of squeeze going through that right glute to keep the entire limb stable. You're not jamming your knee, you are squeezing through the glute. There's a big difference. Spread wide through your toes. Get very light with the toes on the left foot. Squeeze through the glute and allow the glute to lift that leg back, finding the extension. Light fingertips on the back of the chair if you need for just a little bit of balance. Again, shoulders are very relaxed, very soft. Now, here's what I want you to do. Leading with the toes, squeezing through the glutes, I want you to bring that left leg out to the side, to the left. Oh, now we're working a little bit of abduction. Breathe. You can either flex through the foot or point through the toe. Please do what feels best. And then from here, I want you to bend into the knee, swing the leg forward. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome. Now, here you go. From here, you're going to get very strong through the glute. So it's coming back, squeeze through that glute. Are you ready? Lengthen. Now, bend into that right knee, step back. And bring yourself into high lunge. There we go. Oh, how are we doing, everybody? Look at you go. Yay. Lovely, lovely. If you want to add hands, make it more of balance. You can inhale, arms out, up, stop wider than the shoulders, gaze upward, breathe. Very nice. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome. And now from here, sweep the arms down. Let your fingertips come to rest on the back of the chair one more time. Shift your body weight forward. So you were on the ball of the foot. These left toes, you're going to shift the body weight all the way to the tip. Come back up into balance. And then gently lower that left leg. And do some little hip swirl. Woo! Awesome. Ladies, that was amazing. Really nice. Are we ready to do the other side? Now we get to do the other side. Here we go. Okay. Ground into the left leg. Here we go. One more time. Get very light through these right toes. Squeeze through that right glute. Lengthen back. Good. Find the length. Hands on hips if you want to make this a little bit more of a balancing posture. Keep squeezing. Now we're going to move. So if you need your fingers back on the back of the chair, feel free. You're going to bring that leg out to the side. Little bit of abduction, you guys. This is medius and minimus. These are important glute muscles. We need to love them just as much as we do our gluteus max. From here, you're going to continue the swing, bend into the knee, come forward. Oh, squeeze into that left glute. And now hands to the back if you need. You're going to step through, little bend into that left leg, lengthen back, rock back into the ball of that right foot, and come into high lunge. Squeeze that right glute. Oh, yummy. Hands can either be at the hips or you can float them up wider than shoulder width. Gaze can come up. Breathe and enjoy. Deep, full breath. Gently, slowly lower the arms. Bring your hands back, tips to the chair. You're going to rock forward. So shift your body weight forward, back into that left leg. Come all the way onto the tippy toes. Squeeze through that left glute so that you can straighten, come back up. Gently lower. Little hip swirl. Okay. How are we doing, you guys? You look fabulous. How does it? Oh, Yahoo. Good. Okay, we're going to take a slight moment to now open into our hips because we've been squeezing the glutes so much. So come back to your chair. Have a quick sit. Okay. All right. Here we go, you guys. So, just to kind of find some balance again, I want you to start with the left leg. You're going to bring it up, cross it over. Make sure that you're holding onto your knee to keep it if there's too much torque in this position. Breathe. Soften. Okay, gently, slowly begin to hinge forward. And breathe. Begin to notice where things are, how they're feeling. Feel the shoulders relax. If you want to play with them for a moment, I want you to see if you can take that lower edge of your shoulder blade and pull down. So you're not coming from the top. You are actually finding those lower center back muscles that also attach to the bottom of the shoulder blade, and you're using those muscles to help depress the shoulders. Let's go of a lot of tension that you have up here at the top. And then gently allow that to relax. Roll the shoulders out. Okay. From here, I want you to slide this leg all the way over. And then allow your body to come forward a little bit more and just very gently soften and drape over. And breathe. Take a moment to notice how that feels through the left glute and the left hip. Keep breathing, keep softening. And then I want you to very gently, very slowly press down through the hands that are taking care of the knee to push yourself up. Good. And now what I'd like you to do is I want you to take this right arm, bring it up. And then as you exhale, so you're going to stretch a little bit more into that left hip. You're going to allow that left hip to draw back as you bring your torso over towards the left a little bit. Breathe. I want you to take this left hand and wrap it on the back of the chair. Because here's what you're going to do. We're going to start upright. So we're facing the left. So it's not a super big twist. And as you breathe and exhale very, very gently. Begin to draw your torso up to the ceiling. So leading from the heart. So you're doing this from a twisted position. So you're going to move very slowly, very gently to make sure that all of your body bits feel good in this position. So it does not have to be big. Just enjoy a different kind of opening. So there's no force here, just breath. Be very gentle. And then gently lower your head, lower your torso. Ah. Take this right arm and inhale it back up. Pull yourself back around. Whoa. Gently unwind the legs and kind of wiggle wobble into what we got, okay? So we don't normally get to twist like that. The reason we're doing some of this is that, you guys, there's so many muscles in your back that sometimes if you change up the twist just a little bit, you can find those muscles that really need the opening. Take that right leg, bring it up and across. Again, if you need to, interlace your fingers underneath to keep it supported. And then very gently, very slowly, just hinge a little bit. Find the breath. Notice how your body's feeling on this right side. And then when you're ready, I want you to slide that leg all the way over. And then from this point, gently hinge forward. Breathe. Let everything release. Let everything relax. Feel your body soften. Take a moment to notice where you're feeling this within your body. And then when you're ready, hands are right over the knee. You're going to gently press down to push up. There we go, good. And then lengthen into that left arm. Get long on that left side and then exhale. And notice that as you exhale, this right hip is going to ease back, gently twist. Okay. Right hand this time, it's going to drape across the back of the chair. And breathe here. So again, you're doing this very gently, very slowly, being very mindful about what feels good for your body. So when you're ready, you're going to let your eyes begin to track up the wall as you're facing towards the right. Gently begin to retract and squeeze those shoulder blades a little bit together. Feel the heart lift. Gently moving into a different type of twist. Breathe. Be gentle. Be soft. And notice where you're feeling the opening on this side, knowing that it may be a little bit different from the other side. And breathe. One more cycle of breath. Let your gaze track down. Let your shoulders relax. When you're ready, inhale, bring that left arm all the way up. Unwind yourself, bring yourself back over. Come down. And then gently unwind the right leg from the left. Oh. And do a little shake all through the body. Okay, you guys, let's come down onto the floor. So, coming up off the chair. Move your blocks to where they're handy, but so that you can get down. We're going to go ahead and shift the chair. move the blocks. Okay, all right, and come on down. All the way onto your back. And there we go. Take a moment once you're all the way down to just pause. Reconnect with your body now that you've got gravity supporting your trunk. Breathe for a couple cycles of breath. Just notice where that is and how that feels. Okay, we're going to play a little bit with our foot balance. We're going to do it from our backs. So what I want you to do is grab a block. You guys, this is just something fun because we haven't done it yet. And I want you to bring your legs up. And then I want you to put the block on the ball of your feet. Okay? So it may be that for today, this is your entire balance. All I ask is that you stay soft and playful and don't let the block hit your head. All right, so when you're ready, I want you to take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently begin to lengthen your legs and see if you can continue to balance your block. Beautiful, you guys, good. Doesn't matter how high you go. Now, when you're ready, exhale, draw in that belly and then bend back down through the knees. Look at you go, beautiful, nice. And again, use your breath, gently lengthen. Good, awesome. Now, next part, see if you can flex into your feet a little bit more and now begin to lengthen your legs away from you just a little bit. Notice how that feels. So all we're doing is we're just engaging, using our core. This is my tricksy way of getting you guys to do some core. And then gently release that, bring the block back forward towards your head. Bend back into the knees. And then let's do that one more time. So when you're ready, deepen. Inhale, feel the engagement. Exhale, create the movement, lift and lengthen the block. Good. As long as it feels okay, you can flex into your feet a little bit more and then gently allow the legs to draw away from you a little bit. Keep engaging through the legs. Keep having fun. See how still you can keep your block. Discover how it feels. There you go. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome. Nice. Oh, everybody, you look fabulous. Okay, here you go. Use your core. Now bring your legs back up. Bend back into the knees. There you go. And take your block. Very nicely done. Look at y'all go. How does that feel? Check in with your bodies and go, whoo, yeah. Yay. All right, so from here, we're gonna bring your legs up one more time. Only this time, we're gonna do a very gentle twist. So you're gonna keep your blocks handy. You're gonna start by bringing your right leg over your left. And then what you're gonna do is very gently begin to roll the hips over towards the left. So it's right leg over left, and then very gently begin to bring the legs over towards the left. If that's too much for your body, you've got your blocks. So I want you to stack your blocks so that your knee is not coming over too much. I want you to be able to keep the upper torso flat as your lower torso twists. So use your blocks to create the stack so that you're not trying to come over too far. Once you've got yourself settled and you've got your blocks, then I want you to breathe deeply into this right side. I want you to take 3 full cycles of breath. At the end of your 3rd cycle of breath, I want you to take this left hand, place it on top of the lateral side of that right knee. Now I want you to squeeze that right glute very gently. You don't want to make anything grumpy in the spine. You're just asking for some activation. Just a little bit, just enough to make it feel like, oh my gosh, that feels really good. And then let it relax. Take 3 more cycles of breath. Arms can be out in T formation, palms up or palms down, or you can have them down by your sides, or you can keep one hand on top of your knee. Okay, to bring yourself out, you're going to need your core muscles. So I want you to find those core muscles on this right side. I want you to engage them and then use them to draw the legs back up. Once you're all the way back up, unwind and then gently draw the knees together. Gentle hug. Hands can be either underneath the knees or just below the kneecaps. Do what feels best. And now we're going to do that on the other side. So you're going to lengthen your legs. I want you to wrap that left leg over your right. Make sure that you've got your blocks over to the right side. And you're going to very gently, very slowly roll the hips over to the right, making sure that you're not going too deep and that you have your blocks so that you can set it up so that everything can relax and be comfortable. Good. And pay very close attention to make sure that you are not overdoing. Everybody looks beautiful. Good. Good, good. 3 cycles of breath right here. Letting your body gently twist. Letting your body gently unwind. At the end of your 3rd cycle of breath, you're going to take your right hand, bring it to the lateral side of your left knee. I want you to begin by squeezing through this left glute and just pressing that left glute, left knee into the right hand. So isometric stretch, there's no movement. All you're doing is asking for an activation, and you're only doing as much activation as feels good. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly release the activation. Let the body go soft again. And then take 3 more cycles of breath. Breathing into this left side. At the end of your 3rd cycle of breath, I want you to find the core on this left side. You are going to squeeze, activate this left core to bring your legs back up safely. Once they're back up, gently unwind. And one more time, either hands behind the knees or just below the kneecaps. Give yourself that gentle squeeze, that gentle hug. And then very gently, very slowly, lengthen your body into your final relaxation, your final Savasana. Make sure that you have all your bits and pieces so that you are absolutely comfortable, whether that is bolsters underneath your knees, blankets over your torso, eye bags over your eyes. Let your hands come to rest down by your side, palm facing up. Breathe and soften, eyes closed, and just begin to sink into your mat. Observe the change that you've created in your body by breathing mindfully, by moving mindfully, by accessing your muscles mindfully. Notice how that when the body is soft, it is much easier for the heart to be open. Gently, slowly begin to find your way back. Start with fingers and toes, hands and feet. Gentle movements, gentle circles. Allow those movements to create space to find your way back to your breath. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale through the nose. And then if your body chooses, use that deep inhale to bring your arms up over your head to stretch. Really lengthen fingertips to toes. Draw your knees high into your chest. Give yourself that gentle hug. And then when you're ready, gently roll yourself onto your side. Take just that little bit of extra time to find your way back into your body. And then gently press yourself up into seated position. One last time, let your thumbs come to rest at your sternum, hands in prayer. You guys, thank you so profoundly much for fun class, fun space. So grateful for all of you. I honor the divine in you that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste, and may the blessings be.